Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. I haven't uploaded any videos lately, just been busy. So for today's video, I'll be actually redoing my tail light tints. And if you guys saw my previous video, I did actually mention about like removing this whole tint that I have right now and then actually re-tinting it around this area, but keeping the white exposed. I'm not too sure what I'm gonna do around this area because the tail lights for the IS tend to have like this little fins around the edge of the tail lights. So by that I mean like these two fins right here, like this little whatever aerodynamic thing design that they made for the tail lights. So I'm not really too sure how I'm gonna do that with the tint because I do plan on actually tinting that area as well. My only option really is if I do have like a hard time like tinting around this area, I'm probably gonna just do like a cutout, kind of like following this whole design right here, and then just having this outside area just tinted. I don't know if you guys have seen the new IS where they're actually a little bit more darker, kind of like they kind of do look like they're tinted. So around this area it has like a kind of like similar design what I just mentioned before, where this area is kind of like light, but around this whole design area it's like a dark shade. This area should be pretty easy. It's just really just like stretching the wrap or the tint and then just tucking it around this area. Same thing with the bottom, just cutting it and just having this little white exposure right here. Just gonna cut it straight, kind of like where this tint is at. And as for the inner tail lights, the inner tail lights are actually really easy. It's just really just tinting this whole area right here because it's flat, and then just leaving this bigger white exposed out. My whole purpose really of this is just to have that nice contrast with the blue, leave the white exposed, and have the rest like slightly tinted. And also kind of like following that design on the rear diffuser light. This is the tint roll that I got, and as you can already tell, it's really light. You can actually see through the tint, so you can see the backing of it actually with the whole lining direction and all that. I don't want it to be too dark because again, I'm not trying to ruin the whole functionality of the tail lights. I do actually want it to be functional. It's just I'm just trying to make it look clean with like a light tint. So you're still gonna see me if I brake or not, or if I turn left or right. Again, it's everybody's purpose. If they want it dark, they can go dark. If they want it light, they can go light like me. I'll go ahead and leave the link in the description box below so you guys can check it out. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the old tint, starting for the inner tail light. This right here is like a comparison. So that one right there is the tinted one, that one right there is the untinted one. So you guys see the difference with the whole clear part area that I'm talking about. So that's what I want, where the top area to be just fully tinted and then leave the clear just there. Some important tools that you guys will need in order to tint the tail lights will be a knife, something sharp to cut out around the edges, wrap glove. So don't make fun of my wrap glove, it's old, I know that, but it works, so it'll do its job. The heat gun definitely helps. And I also have this wrench with the 10 mil attached to it, only because I might need to remove it slightly, the tail light, the inner tail lights or the outer tail lights, just to kind of like tuck in the wrap or the tint. So I actually got one of the inner tail lights out just because I thought that it'd be much more easier to wrap it while it's out because of this bottom piece right here. Because the way the tail lights is designed, you kind of have to like tuck in the tint below this area. So while it's like on the actual trunk, kind of looks hard to really do that, and I'm not sure you guys can see that. So if I try to do that, it's probably gonna wrinkle up a lot, and I'm not trying to ruin the tint by just doing that. Just a quick update, I already have the inner tail lights tinted. So as you can see, it's like a light smoke. Looks really clean, I like it. But anyways, I already have the blue tape right here. The reason why I'm using that is just to cut it straight, and that's where I'm gonna leave the clear part left out, basically the clear tail light, and I'll see how it looks after that. I'm gonna try to do it as quick as possible, just the inner tail lights, just because it's kind of getting dark. So just want to get it installed and show you guys the whole process. Got the inner tail lights done. So that blue masking tape really helped a lot with making the line pretty straight. And same thing with the other side, looks really good. tucked it in all nicely on the edges, cut it out nicely as well. So it's ready to be assembled back, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. I just finished assembling the inner tail lights. So I know it kind of looks kind of dark right now. That is because it is currently fully almost night, but anyways, looks really good. I like it a lot, and I like the whole fact that it has a clear lights around it now to match with that bottom fog. And I mean, you can still see it, it's bright. So all I have to do now is just do the outer tail lights, and I really can't wait how it's gonna look. But I'm gonna go ahead and do that and finish it by tomorrow. All right, it's currently the next day and a little bit more brighter day, but it is kind of cloudy, but whatever. But anyways, you can see the tint a lot more better than what it was from the other day where it was showing too much shade. But anyways, yeah, it's not as dark. It's a really light smoke, so looks really good, especially for my taste. You could also see the amber lighting right there, and same thing with the red. So again, this is a really light smoke. So I know I haven't really showed you guys the whole process of how I tinted the inner tail lights, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the outer tail lights, how I'm doing it, especially around this area where I think it's the most difficult part. Again, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to pull this off because of this right here. It looks kind of hard for me, but if I can, then great. If I cannot, then I'll go ahead and do that whole cutout around this area. But definitely, if you guys are considering tinting your taillights, you gotta definitely clean out the taillights. Don't just do it on top of the whole dirt whatsoever. I'm gonna just go ahead and start with this area first, the flatter area. So starting from this side, and then just gonna be working my way out through the back side. So as you can see, I was mainly focused around this area just to make sure I was able to actually tuck this in nicely without like having bubbles. As far as now, there is absolutely no bubbles at all, so it looks good. All I have to do really is just like tuck it in around the edges, tuck it in around there, the bottom piece, and then just work on the rest of the tail light. I just finished doing the outer tail light and it looks really good. Came out really nice. I just heated up really nicely this whole area just to make sure that no bubbles occur. But as far as now, no bubbles at all, so that's good. The only thing I have to do next is, again, just do the whole blue masking tape around that white clear area and to match this area as well. But let's compare it to the other side. Looks really good. If you guys are asking how dark really is, like this light smoke tint, it's really not that dark. You can see it through, like especially in person. And compared to this right here, these reflectors are actually smoked in a very light smoke as well. It's not actually dark. So this tint was the same ones that I used to just tint the amber and the clear area only. So you can kind of tell the difference between that and that. So this one's a lot more darker and this one's like a very, very light smoke. So before doing the whole clear out part on the bottom of the outer tail lights, I actually started doing the other side, which is the passenger side, and pretty much finished it. So it's looking good. So really all I have to do now is just do this part and I'm most likely gonna remove the outer tail lights just to make it more easier for me, mask it up and then cut it out nicely, and then just assemble the tail lights back together. So I just finished doing the outer tail lights with the whole clear cutout, and it looks really good. Finally got both inner and outer tail lights complete, and that is for both sides as well. So looks really good. Nice shade of like that little dark, but you can definitely still see it. Sheesh. Peep those shiny yellow calipers. So I just washed my car. Haven't washed it in a while actually, so it feels good to even wash it. It's crispy now. Bad thing about especially these upgraded Brembo brakes is that it does create a lot of brake dust. So the car starts turning like slightly like brown, especially like around the fender area and the rear. But yeah, I mean, again, just feels so good to wash the car and it looks good again. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the results of the tinted tail light. This right here is the driver's side. Some top view. So I'm actually glad I was actually able to wrap it around this fin right here, especially both of them. So there's no bubbles at all, and it looks really good. So again, I kind of like showed you guys how to wrap it around that area, but I mean, it was my technique of how I wrapped it. There's probably others, like especially like pros, who know how to wrap it a lot more quicker than what I did. But you know, everybody wraps differently. It's not always the same, but as long as you get it right and it works, that's pretty much it. Same thing with the passenger side. Oof, oof, oof. It's icy. If you guys are wondering, like, can you still see the turn signals? Yes, you can. For me, I do have the LED turn signals, so you can actually see it, definitely. So definitely a car behind me won't miss me turning left or right or even braking. So yeah, you can definitely see it, even though if you were using the amber, because the amber is actually the one that's supposed to be the turn signal. But for me, I did like a whole change with my tail lights, so I'm gonna just step back a little bit and you still see it. But anyways guys, I'm really happy of the results of how it turned out to be. It looks really good of what I did with the clear tail lights, and as well to match the rear fog light diffuser. Let me go ahead and show you guys the side view. So that's how it looks. Nicely smoked. Some close-up view. And same thing with the other side. Probably this angle's a lot more better because the sun is kind of like heading this way. So you can also see the blue contrast with the tail light tint. So it looks pretty tough. So I'm gonna just go ahead and step a little bit back, just show you guys a more better view. Let me know what you guys think of the whole taillight tint that I did with the Lexus IS, but I'm really liking it because this is a whole different design that I kind of did than what I had before, where again I had only the amber tinted and just the reversed lights tinted, but now I kind of have just everything almost tinted, but just leaving the clear light of the reverse lights left out. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Peace.